Hey, groovy cats and chicks, it's me, the world's most dangerous filmmaker, Rock Savage, the man with dynamic greatness. And I got a video here, let me get comfortable here in my chair. I got an excellent video here for you. This one here, as you've noticed, I've been away from YouTube for a while, but I've been on Rumble, where I handle two controversial subjects: why Hollywood still sucks, and why representation is BS. Everybody wants representation in movies now, and I explain why that's phony baloney and why you should, you know, filmmakers should just ignore that and concentrate on making good stories and doing good characters and not doing, you know, race swaps, gender swaps, sexual orientation swaps, which, is no good. But anyway, I got something good to tell you. This is for the potential filmmakers out there. That's why I'm putting it on YouTube. This is nothing really controversial at all. Um, like I said, I put my controversial stuff on Rumble, which I'll put a links to below in case some of you hasn't visited my Rumble channel. You can see my controversial videos there. You know, I do that mainly to avoid any hassles with YouTube, even though I'm not monetized here, because I would rather you. I really don't think it's a good idea to have YouTube be your only source of income. I think people should get a real job, but that's just me. But anyway, I wanted to explain to a lot of you independent filmmakers out there why you should stay away from Hollywood for many reasons, and you should be independent. But this also means you need to find a profession where you will continue to make money and have a steady paycheck and not have to rely. And that way, that gives you total freedom to make any movie you want to make. And I'm going to give several examples about that. The great Herschel Gordon Lewis, the man who inspired me to make movies, he did very successful in his movies, but he also had a steady paycheck. He had an advertising agency. And, and Dave Friedman also he did promotion for other people's films. He had a network of other filmmakers, and they were called like they were named after Alibaba and the 40 Thieves. They were called the 40 Thieves because they were such slock misers, and which they admit. And Slock I don't think is bad. I like Slock. I like Quentin Tarantino. You could say is a big budget Slock miser. Nothing wrong with that. So, but anyway, so I'm here to give you some few tips and a few reasons why you should make your own movies. Stay out of Hollywood. First of all, we all know Hollywood is very toxic these days, and it's also you have to either be related to somebody to get a job there, or the old saying now, it's who you know and who you blow. And that's right. Well, that's a little bit controversial, isn't it? But it's true. It's who you know and who you blow, and you may not want to lower yourself to those to degrade yourself just to be in the showbiz. I mean, I hope you don't want to do that. Anyway, so I'm going to show you some tips on films that you should be, what you should do to promote your films. You should have. I know we're in a digital age. When I started making movies, I was shooting on film. I even attempted to shoot on 16 millimeter film, but you really needed really expensive equipment. My original goal was to try to get movies in the theaters. I've sort of succeeded in doing that twice, but it wasn't nationwide, so that was disappointing. But I did get my movies on VHS and beta, believe it or not, and got it into some direct-to-video releases. And I also did it with DVD. And I was more successful in the VHS era. But here's a release celebrating the anniversary of my first two movies, which were shot on film, was shot on Super 8 film. And it's Mummy, a Gorgor, and A Taste of Flesh. Yes, shameless self-promotion here. And you notice the cover has dynamic greatness because it's a double feature, and it says on the bottom, twice the terror, double the danger. You have to have dynamic greatness when you do this, when you do your covers. And you should always have physical media. In this case, I would recommend transferring your movies to DVD and selling on demand the same way that Warner Brothers has their archives online. They sell on demand. So, you know, and that's what I do when somebody orders a movie from me at www.savagefilmgroup.com. Hit on the link below. And by the way, as a matter of fact, I'm going to be a real bore today. Okay. Yeah, this is yes, here we got some. Should have had them out, but that's okay. You can, if you order, because I'm not taking credit cards, so ignore any of the credit card stuff. Print out the order form, send me a check or money order. You order, for every DVD you order, you get a free CD. This one is called Savage Radio Theater, and it's an audio book, but it's a cross between an audio book and old time radio. It's got sound effects. It's got a full cast. It's like having a cinema in your brain. You know, I don't know if you want me living in your brain, but hey. And this one here is called B-Movie Radio Spots. And this is the old come-ons that get you into the theater, but instead of being the previews on television or in the movie theater, these were made for radio, and they're really lots of great hype in there. And it's a big collection of those. I have 2 collections of those. I also have another Savage Radio Theater that's appropriate for the family. It's called Hard Boiled Fairy Tales, and I also have a soundtrack because we have original music in our movies, and I have a soundtrack album also. So you order every DVD you order, you're entitled to a free CD. Just make sure you mention which one you want, and I'll send it to you. So that's a pretty good deal. So, and this is one of the first lessons. I'm assuming a lot of you who are making films know how to make a film, and you probably know. I'm very old school. I still shoot my stuff on digital tape. I went from Super 8 film to High 8 to Digital 8. I mean to digital video, DV. The only thing I shoot completely tapeless are these videos. I prefer this physical media. I really do. I like having the tape right there. I can hold it. It's not out there in my computer in the never land. So, but you can make the movies whichever way you feel. However, I think in the end you should have physical media because people love to hold stuff in their hands. They love to hold the DVD. There's conventions, nostalgia conventions. People sell tapes. They sell old movies, new movies at horror conventions, and I see a lot of filmmakers with their stuff there. And I need to get back into that too. I haven't made a scripted film in a while, but I made 2 Mondo movies, Mondo Vacation and Mondo Monsters, which are documentaries of weird stuff. But anyway, but another reason you really need to make your own movies is, you really can't compete in Hollywood. Hollywood has gone completely woke. They're going to tell you everything you can do with your movie. Let's say you want to shoot in black and white. They say, oh no, you got to be more commercial. You got to shoot in color. Well, there's a market out there. There's people who like movies in black and white. Matter of fact, let me be a whore again and do some more shameless self-promotion with, I hope I still have a copy of it. No, I don't. I sold out of them. Well, how about that? Well, I'll have to make more copies. I sold out of Hard Boiled Heroes, which is an anthology of tough guys movies. It's a combination of horror, action, and science fiction with 3 action heroes in it, and it's four four stories, four short films put into one anthology. It's all shot in black and white. It's got a film noir look. It's also a bit on the throwback to 60s drive-in, so it's what I call mod noir. So it's kind of mod and groovy, but it's also very, it's got a gritty 1940s look, like the Maltese Falcon and movies like that. So, but anyway, yeah, so you really need to stay out of Hollywood. Also, the fact that they are woke, they're going to make you, you have to have this type of people and that type of people. You have to have, you know, one, one of each person, you know, and I think I mentioned this in my controversial video. I said, you know, that's like asking Picasso, Leonardo da Vinci, and Salvador Dali, telling them that they have to use every color in their palette, or you know, or you're not going to get an award, or we're not going to finance your movie, or not finance your painting. You don't tell the masters how to paint, and you shouldn't let anybody tell you how to make a movie. You got to do your own thing. And there is niche marketing for everything. There's going to be somebody that wants to see your movie. You just got to find your audience and know your audience. Um, I'll tell you an interesting story. One of the things you know that bothers me is that they have to put, excuse me, they like put gay content in every movie now. There's guys tongue kissing. Well, I personally don't care what you do in the bedroom, but I don't want to see that crap when I'm watching like a private eye movie or a horror movie. It's like, what the hell? You know, I mean, yeah, it's. I don't need to be seeing that. I don't want to see bedroom scenes with two guys. If you want to see that, that's fine. You know, whatever gets you on. But I want to know ahead of time if that's going to be there, because I'm not going to watch it. And like I said, they just put too much of that in there, and that's really a niche market. That's like, what, 2% of the population's gay? So, but the point I'm going to make is that there were, a lot of people are going to be surprised when I say this, but I was at the video software, I believe it was the Video Software Association back in 2004, I think. I can't recall now. It was in Baltimore, and it was absolutely amazing. They had a whole section of the adult movie industry there, and I was there interviewing people. That's what I was there for. My friend Jeff Krulik said, "Hey, Rock, come over here and interview people who are, you know, who they're selling classic adult movies from the 70s and 60s, and then they got the new filmmakers, and they got John Holmes' widow here." I said, "Yeah, I'll interview those people, no problem." And when I was taking a break, I wandered over to the other section, and there were several other sections. They had the family movies, the mainstream movies, you know, all on DVD. And then I run into this, and I see something very unusual. And I said, "What's this?" And it was a cover of a movie, and I can't remember the name of the movie to save my life, but it had a hippie and a Marine on the cover. I said, "That's strange." And I pick it up and I turn around, and it's a gay romantic comedy. And I'm sure they didn't spend as much money as that piece of crap that came out recently that that they embarrassed themselves and lost money with. And it was about, you know, this gay Marine and this gay hippie that have a relationship, and their parents are upset, not because they're gay, but because, you know, one's a military family and the other's a hippie family, and so comedy ensues. And my jaw dropped, and I just realized I was in a section where all the DVDs, all the movies there were made by gay filmmakers for their own audience. They knew their audience. So I immediately got out of there because I didn't want anyone to think I was gay. Yeah, I know what you're thinking, but hey, you're saying, "Oh, Rock, shame on you." Hey, 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 hey. Straight guys don't want anybody thinking they're gay, okay? So deal with that. So anyway, I got out of there as soon as I can, but I also, I couldn't help as a filmmaker myself to admire the genius of this and how innovative they were to come up with this concept. They said, "Okay, we're going to make movies for our community and our people, and the hell with Hollywood." And I think that was an excellent idea. Like I said, this was around 2004. And I wonder, if any of those filmmakers are still out there making movies. Personally, it's not movies I want to see, but I say more power to them. And more power to you if you want to make a film for your target audience and your niche marketing. I got a niche marketing, a market that I have. You know, so I need to reach out and get more people on board. Because it used to be in the old days before the internet, I used to publish a fanzine, and that's how I got people. And I sent movies out for review in magazines like Psychotronic. I was reviewed, and I was reviewed in a really quirky magazine called Carbon 14, and other fanzines and stuff. Because back then, the the newsstand was flooded with that stuff, which was great. And so you don't have access to that, but you have access to the internet. You can get a website, make your own website, of course, and social media is out of control. You can go everywhere on social media. And like I said, I recommend that you make your own film. Don't try to be part of the Hollywood system. Hollywood is out of control. They're making crap, and if you're only interested in being, if you're not interested in the creative part where you just want to do sound or lighting or work in the background, okay, that's fine. But if you want to be a real filmmaker and have control of your movie from beginning to end, where you write, direct, produce, and in my case, I star in my movies, but only as one character, as Harry Gross, the occult investigator, because basically he's me. I created that character for myself, or not originally though. But the problem was nobody was going to play him the way I wanted him played, so I took over, and which was fine because the other main characters are all. I pretty much a lot of times I would take people I know and I said, I'm going to write a script around this person. It's an interesting person. And of course, I will exaggerate all their character traits because to make it more interesting. But that's another story in general. But anyway, like I said, I think this is my opinion. This is why you should make your own movies. Hollywood makes crap. Stay out of there if you can. Make your own movies. Market your own movies. You've got better tools now than I did when I was making them back. I mean, I've been making movies since 1980, and the resources you have now. I had to go to the library and get books on filmmaking, and then later when I went to bookstores and found out that some of the specialty bookstores had incredible selection. I think maybe one day I'll make a video on books on filmmaking. Some of the books are outdated, but they're fascinating, and they still have excellent techniques for cinematography and lighting, which I recommend that to any filmmaker. So yeah, so there you go. So this is this is how what I think why you should make your own movie. You can be in complete control of everything, and you can be in complete control of the casting too. Sometimes you're in a Hollywood production, they're going to tell you who's going to be cast. It could be somebody that's the flavor of the month, and they could just suck to high heaven, and they don't care. I mean, Sylvester Stallone's a pretty cool guy, but was he really good as Judge Dredd? No. Terrible Judge Dredd. Good as Rambo. Good as Rocky. Not good at all as Judge Dredd. Terrible. Terrible. He was not right for that part. But he was the flavor of the month. So there you go. So anyway, that's my rant of why you should make your own movie. And if you have any questions or suggestions for future videos, and you are a filmmaker or just a film fan, please leave it in the comments below, and I'll probably look into it because I'm looking for, I love talking about movies and making films and filmmaking in general. Ask me some questions, put them down there below, and I'll answer them. I may answer them in the next video. So just go ahead and do that because and I may have answers. I may have questions for you of what you're doing these days. What kind of cameras are you using? So anyway, that's all for now. I want everybody to stay groovy and keep making movies. See you. See what I mean? This new stuff. Yeah. This is embarrassing. Okay. So I have to sign off again, guys. Like I said, keep making movies. And like I said, you guys, I'm sure with the new equipment,